and I'm going to start the TikTok stream, and hopefully neither of these blow up. So that's really my goal today, is that none of these streams blow up. Not like you know, numbers wise it can blow up, but like blow up like my internet. I don't I don't want my internet to explode, you know. So yeah. All right, the pillow talk is done. Let's talk about this. So Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls got revealed last week, and when new games like this come out, it is inevitable that people are going to throw in their wish lists and who deserves to be in the game, etc. Well, that is exactly what I'm doing today. So we're going to be going through a fan roster that, or we're going to be going through a roster template that was made by Ultima Shadow on Twitter, and I'm going to put in the characters that I want, need, and feel deserve a place in this 4v4 tag fighter. So I'm going to, where's the thing? Is it this one? It's this one. Okay. So here is our lovely template. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So we have 30 slots, and 8 of them have been taken. So we have a lot, but also not a lot at the same time, because the Marvel Universe is very rich when it comes to characters. So I'm trying to think of who would most realistically fit in with this roster, while also taking into account how Marvel Rivals does their roster, while also taking into account who I just think would be a really cool character in this. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So I was thinking about this immediately. Like, this one is going to be a selfish pick, and the first one is my selfish pick. But I also feel like it is very plausible that this character would be included in this game. So I'm going to get that character right now, and I'm gonna have to like, well, and I gotta like edit the crap out of it. So let me. Well, if it, boom, Daredevil. Daredevil 100% would be in the game. I feel like like obviously Daredevil has gained a lot of popularity because of Netflix, right? But also just in general, like he's just become more popular in the Marvel universe in general, mainly because of his show. And I feel like he would be a perfect addition to this game as, you know, the acrobat that he is, with a really cool move set. And I feel like it just makes logical sense for him to be in here. Obviously, this is my go-to character whenever there's like a character wish list of like, oh, who do I want in the game? The first person that I typically go to is Daredevil. But I think that it makes perfect sense for Matt to be here. It really does. So I gotta fix this. Thinking about all the characters getting MOMs, Capcom, thinking Nightcrawler, Blade, and Gwenpool. Blade is also probably going to be added onto this list, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and the other thing too, we're not doing DLC characters right now. This is strictly going to be base roster. And I'm gonna try my very best to also like, I don't think that's gonna fit, but we're gonna make it work. So select inverse, and then delete, boom. There's Daredevil. Daredevil right away. Yo, what's up, Joker? How you doing? Okay, so I was gonna say the next one's gonna be Punisher because of John Bernthal's Punisher. So next up, so here's what I think. I think that it's very easy to have like the Avengers, right? I feel like Thor is just gonna be a natural pick in here, so we're just gonna get him out of the way. We're gonna put Thor Odinson in here. I gotta find a good picture of the. Actually, wait a minute. This one will do it. Wait on, just guys. This specific picture of Thor Odin's son. That's where he's gonna be. Oh my god, you gotta add Rogue and Magic, but I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know if Rogue and Magic would make it in. That's the thing. This isn't just my wish list. This is who do I actually think will be included in the game. So, oh my god, hold on. Did I do this incorrectly? Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. How did I do this last time? To where I was able to, like, get this to work. Was it just... Okay, so I just got to do it like this. Just boom. Boom. Yeah, there we go. That works. That actually did fit in quite perfectly. So select inverse. We get rid of all that. Boom. Thor Odin's son. Thor is logical choice, right? Ugh. This is hard because we only have 22 spots left, and there's so many freaking characters that could be put in here. Storm looks really good. I think Storm looks better here than she does in Marvel Rivals, honestly. So yeah, Wolverine was my next one. Wolverine is another obvious pick. I feel like it only makes sense for Wolverine to get in here. Wolverine just makes sense. Like, this might honestly just be a super duper basic tier list. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's probably just gonna turn into that, where it's like, oh, this character is gonna get in, obviously, because it's fucking Wolverine. But really, you got to think about the iconography of these characters, right? And I'm not trying to think of like, oh, well, like this character's gonna get in because I want them in, but like really, like Wolverine should be in this game. Like the face of the X-Men, you know, he should be in here. It's also weird too, because for me personally speaking, I am trying not to just think of like, oh, like Marvel versus Capcom. It makes sense that Wolverine would be in here because Marvel versus Capcom, when like none of the characters that were featured in the trailers that have Marvel versus Capcom like movesets, like none of them have Marvel movesets. It's just they're just brand new. So why is your mic? Oh, where's your motivation? Thank you so much for the tier 1, subscribing for 2 months. I appreciate it.
BFGCREDGRAVE Maguire BFG
Bully Maguire. My mic is in mono because it is, and I haven't figured out how to fix it on TikTok yet. I fix it everywhere else, but not on TikTok. Thank you. But yeah, Wolverine, I just feel like has a lot of potential, and he's just a popular character, you know. Do I put in Deadpool now? I don't know if I would put in Deadpool now. We should think of some villains. Who I feel like, oh my god, would they just put in Venom again? Okay, so let's think about this a little bit realistically, right? So Venom, like I don't know if I would want to just see Venom again, but like, you know, like he's just a popular pick. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of who another Spider-Man. I feel like, I don't know why I'm thinking of this. I feel like they could just add Dr. Octopus. But Venom is the more popular character? I don't know. Buddy has Cap over Thor. What do you mean I have Cap over Thor? This is literally just a wish list. What do you mean Cap over Thor? I think it'll come out. Well, I don't know, because it's a PlayStation Star on a Hill. It's a PlayStation game, so I don't think it would. Oh my god. I feel like we should put in a Spider-Man villain. Ugh, they're just gonna fucking put in Venom. I think Venom is just too popular. I think unfortunately that is just the case. Venom's too popular. They can't not put in Venom because it's, you know, like I personally, I would rather see something like Dr. Octopus or Green Goblin to like give us something new. But really, when you boil it down, I feel like Venom is just, he's just it's the boring choice. But I feel like it is the choice that they would go for, or at least like if like, you know, for right now, I just feel like they would. Um, I'm telling you, I can see my girl Magic being added in general because of how popular she's gotten in recent years. Maybe you're right. I do, however, think that Magneto should go in here. I think that Magneto should go in here. Magneto's another one. Mag freaking Nito. He can have like some. Oh, I'm using the. Wait a minute, I found the perfect picture for Magneto that we're gonna use. But just like how Wolverine is the X-Man, Magneto is the X-Man villain. Like he is unfortunately, like, well, I don't say unfortunately, he is that guy, you know. And like look at this look at this picture that I found of Magneto. It looks like a rap cover. I don't know where this picture is from, but I'm glad I found it. Hold on. That's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, we're basing this based off of who, not only who I want, but who I think is just gonna get in. And I think Magneto would just get in. Because Wolverine and Magneto, and especially having these two right next to each other, just makes sense. All right, but here's what I'm gonna do though. Okay, I am gonna do this. I am not going to put in the Fantastic Four because that's 4 freaking characters. I'm not doing it. Like I feel like that's like a whole season of DLC is the Fantastic Four, and then you can have a team of the Fantastic Four. But I feel like I'm not putting them in now. I think that they could be DLC, so that's where they're going. Okay? Ugh, Phoenix and Jean Grey. I don't... Okay. Could Phoenix show up in this? I think she's popular enough. I think that she would have a chance. However, I hate Jean Grey with a burning passion in all of my being because of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So this is where my personal bias is going to kick in, and I'm going to say, fuck Jean Grey. She's not getting on this list. They could put in the Super Skrull with the 4 powers. See, they could, but they already did that in Marvel 3. And I feel like the reason why they did it was because they didn't want to put in all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. But again, I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to not have the Fantastic Four in here. I just don't think that they should be base roster. I think that they would be DLC. That's just me. Because inevitably we're going to get DLC. But if I put in the Fantastic Four, that is just 4 slots that are just taken. So, we do got to add the Hulk. Hulk is another character that we got to add. It's just a very, very obvious pick that Hulk would show up. I got to find a good picture of the Hulk. I'm trying to make the character select screen look a little cool too, so I'm being a little more selective on my pictures. This picture that I'm taking is saying that the Hulk movie is on Netflix, and I don't believe that. So disregard the fact that this picture is going to be significantly smaller than the other ones. I just wanted this pose because it looked cool. And this is from the, I almost said the old Hulk movie. I was like, what was this, 2003? I think I was like 6 when this movie came out. You're telling me Marvel's first family can't be base roster? I don't think that they would. I think that if given the choice... Okay, so actually, here's probably what I think. I don't know what would be worse. All Fantastic Four members being base roster, or all Fantastic Four members being DLC. If it's free DLC, it's fine. But base roster, I feel like I feel like it would be like, oh well, 4 slots just immediately go to the Fantastic Four. So there's that. Doc Ock was never in a fighting game. Unfortunately, he wasn't. He was supposed to be in Marvel 3, and then he wasn't. But Blade, I think would be good DLC though, Astrago. I think that Blade would be DLC. That's my thing. I think that Blade is too hype of a character to be put into base roster. That's what I think. Is this my opinion? They haven't confirmed anything yet. This was just the template that I found online, and it has 30. So that Hulk movie is in gray, which is sad since we haven't gotten a Hulk movie in years. The best Hulk movie that I've seen in recent years is Captain America: Brave New World. I'm just kidding. That movie was mid. Guys, if I can go on a small tangent, like a side tangent, I decided to sit down and watch that movie the other night because it was on Disney Plus. And the movie started, and I think within 5 minutes I was on my phone because I was just so bored. I would like when an action scene popped up, I'd put my phone down and I'd watch it. But I can't lie, I was on my phone for a good majority of that movie. I was just bored. It was just a boring movie. Miles Morales, I feel like Miles Morales would be DLC. Miles Morales would be a hype DLC character. That's what I mean, we already have Spider-Man, but I don't know why, but I feel like if Miles was the first DLC character, I think that would be hype as hell. I don't think he should be here right now. Also, Brandon, thank you so much for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. What about Punisher? I could see Punisher. I could see Punisher. But does he deserve it? Does my boy Frank Castle deserve the spot? I think he deserves the spot. I think that Frank Castle could get a spot in here for sure. Let me find a good picture of my boy Frank. Blade is DLC. But I will continue to state that Blade is just DLC. He would be DLC. Like if I had to pick one season of DLC is the Fantastic Four. But if I exclude the I don't think it should be the first season, by the way. I think the first season should be like an actual season if they like do it the way that I think that they would. But I feel like the first wave of DLC would be like Miles Morales, Blade, probably Gambit, I'd want to say. Like characters that would generate a lot of hype that aren't just like Wolverine, Like I feel like having Wolverine as DLC would be really weird because he's kind of like a mainstay. Like I feel like the obvious picks are the ones who would be on the base roster. And then we're going to have like a couple of like, just discussions about like, who else should be base roster, because actually like I was thinking too, like I was thinking about like Jeff the Shark or Luna Snow, but I feel like the only reason they're as popular as they are right now is because of Marvel Rivals, and that's why I just feel like maybe it's not a good idea to include those characters because they're already in another game and they thrive super well in another game. That's what I'm thinking. Imagine DC character being in this game. That's also true. Actually, trying to think of another character. I feel like I don't want I don't know why I was thinking of like Groot and Rocket together, but I don't know if that would kind of break the I don't know if that would break it. You know what I mean? trying to think of another good obvious character that could probably be included. Or at least like another good choice. Right? I feel like it would be inevitable for Black Widow and Hawkeye to be here. But I don't want to just put all of the Avengers in here too at the same time. I wonder. So we got Storm, we got Wolverine. I feel like Cyclops would Cyclops kind of. I feel like you know what, Cyclops. Silver Surfer would be pretty dope, but I feel like Cyclops. Oh, I just looked up Cyclops and a bunch of like statues just popped up. All right, I'm gonna. You know what? The picture I'm gonna use Donut Lord. I'm gonna use Donut Lord for Cyclops. I gotta shrink the shit out of that. Okay, and then Jean Grey. I'm not adding in Jean Grey, Tevya. Like, and I'll do a lot of repeating myself because some people are just like saying the same characters over and over again. I have a disdain for Jean Grey because of Marvel 3. So by my own personal principles, I can't do it. What about Mystique? Okay, I'm not going to be lying to you guys. I don't know what Mystique does besides being a camouflage character. Like, is she like what other power does she just know kung fu? Is she a camouflage character who knows kung fu? Is that all she is? She has a gun sometimes. Does that make it better? She's a camouflage character who knows kung fu, who sometimes uses a gun. I don't think she should be in a game like this. I'm sorry. All right. I do need to add some villains. Let's see. I also don't want to just add Thanos. You know what? Well, I mean, Ultron. I feel like Ultron's a kind of like another. And like, here's the thing: like, Ultron has had a couple of different what you call it, like a couple of different like move sets in various games. Like, obviously he just got added to Marvel Rivals, and he was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but he was a really fun character for at least for me to play against in Marvel Infinite, being able to like summon drones and everything. But I feel like they could add some like laser beams and like, you know, drone projectiles and stuff. Like, I feel like he could be a fun character here to kind of add with some of the other villain characters that we have, like Doctor Doom. It's basically like Fantastic Four villain, X-Men villain, Avengers villain, and now we need like an Inhumans. Oh, and then Spider-Man villain. Then boom, there we go. Can you add Penny, the infamous Spider-Man villain? Joker, you just really want me to add Penny in this game.
Joker 2077 says, can you add Paul, the infamous Spider-Man?
Ooh, Apocalypse. Apocalypse could be pretty cool. Oh, Paul. Oh, I see. Galactus is too big. Galactus is too big. But I do like the idea of Apocalypse. But also, I feel like Silver Surfer would be... Well, also because... Well, then that would be two Fantastic Four villains, right? But I feel like that's fine. I feel like Silver Surfer could have a pretty cool moveset. And considering the fact that the Fantastic Four movie is about to come out, I think it... You know, I can see Silver Surfer being added to this. And it being, like, logical as well. So I'll put Silver Surfer on here. That's a good choice. I gotta rewatch these movies, the Fantastic Four movies. I gotta do that for my suit rating, and I gotta actually watch Fan Four Stick for the first time. Is this gonna fuck this up? I think this might fuck this up. Hold on one sec. This might screw this up. So I gotta shit. Make this a little larger. Go over here. Maybe like go up a little bit. Okay, that should be good. The Predator comics are owned by Marvel, so that put the Predator as a guest character in Marvel Tokon. Actually, I wonder if we would get a PlayStation guest character. Could you imagine Cole McGrath or Delson Rowe being a guest character in this? Like you know, superheroes from PlayStation guest starring in a superhero game. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I want Carnage over Venom. See, I put Venom on here because he's kind of like a given choice for a character that they would put on the roster, especially for a Spider-Man villain. But I feel like if they had Carnage, Carnage would also be a DLC character. Carnage, like, you got to admit that there are DLC characters that just scream DLC. I'm not the biggest fan of, you know, it's just kind of logical that everything is going to have DLC, right? But if we have to have DLC characters need to be hype as hell. Like Virgil's a hype as hell DLC character. Same thing with, like I said, like Miles Morales would also be a hype DLC character because it's like oh shit, like they had the first Spider-Man in here, now they have the second Spider-Man. Like whoa, like, you know, it's just kind of like a logical thing that they would do to generate hype. Try Nova. Jesus Christ, not Nova. You just gave me Nova PTSD. Dude, freaking if they put Nova in this fucking game and I see that stupid grab round start, I'm not playing this game. I can't go through that shit again. Oh, Nova is kind of cool though. No, and Nova would be like a fly. Well, I mean, yeah, Nova. No, you know who they would put in? You know who they'd put in instead of Nova? I'm gonna overrule that just because I feel like this is just, like I said, I feel like logically speaking, Captain Marvel has a better chance. Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel can have their team up. I feel like this would be an inevitability, so I'm just going to add it. Captain Marvel would be in here over Nova, and I feel like if there's more room, then we can add Nova, but I feel like Captain Marvel would be on here. Where is Select Inverse? I think on that note, I should probably add in Black Widow, potentially. Or maybe Black Widow, if not, trying to think of, there's another, who the hell am I missing? I know who it is. Deadpool. Maybe if we have room. Hold on, white. Hold on, I got it. Oh my god, come on, that's not the one I want. Come on. Wow, you guys are killing me with the Google searches. There we go. I was looking for a very specific photo. Boom, White Tiger. White Tiger would be sick as hell. White Tiger would be really cool. On that note, I also got to add in Black Panther, because Black Panther is also a very obvious choice who I feel like, you know, well deserved should also be a part of the base roster. But White Tiger, oh my god, I completely butchered that. I completely butchered that placement. Hold on. Let's go. Invincible as a guest character would also be pretty cool. I will say. Invincible would be cool. Yeah, White Tiger. White Tiger, I feel like would be like also very similar to Black Panther, just in kind of like their Tiger / Panther moveset. But with White Tiger being in the Daredevil show, and what I'm assuming is going to be like the future White Tiger, like the daughter, going to be taking over the mantle, I feel like having White Tiger in this roster, excuse me, leads to another, like, obviously like another like female representation character, but also a character who is going to be a little more relevant. Yo, what's up, Sai? How's it going? Yeah, and then putting Kitty Pryde for a cat joke, yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to think of who else. What if I put in MODOK? Would you guys kill me if I put in MODOK? I feel like you guys would kill me if I put in MODOK. Oh, did I say daughter? Excuse me. That was I'm his niece. Sorry. Abomination? How did I... Okay. It's not Abomination. How did I freaking miss this? Oh my god, wait, hold on. Who was I just thinking of? What was I just thinking of? It's not Cyclops. It's... Who the fuck am I thinking of? It's not Cyclops. Colossus. We need another big boy character, and the big boy character is going to be Colossus. Yeah, we need another big boy. Big boy Colossus is going to join the fray. And I feel like it's warranted because X-Men, but also Deadpool, but also because Colossus is cool.
Hello there.
Hello there, Echo. But, yeah, I did see the comment about the Defenders, and now I'm thinking, but Luke Cage, though. Cable might be a little too much. Luke Cage, though. Luke Cage. Luke Cage. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Now we're getting somewhere. Luke Cage or Jessica Jones? Oh, this is hard. All right, fuck it. Personal bias, I'm putting in Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is also very popular by extension because of the Netflix show, but also because she's a very popular character, and I am not gonna say any more because I don't want people to hurt me for the things that I could potentially say that they may or may not know. So I'm gonna shut up and move on, and I'm gonna do this. See, like Iron Fist is also a good one. This is the problem. I'm trying to balance like who I think makes logical sense, who I think deserves it, and also who I want. But god damn it, Jessica Jones deserves it. I don't care what nobody says. She deserves the spot 100%. Taskmaster. It's hard because it's hard thinking about who could be in this game, because if they were already in Marvel vs. Capcom, I just see their moveset. And I just don't know how how they could go around it. That's my thing. But also Taskmaster was kind of a whatever pick in Marvel 3 anyways. He's fun, but he was kind of like a whatever character. Shit. So who am I missing? Who else am I missing? We're getting at the bottom few now. Who am I missing?
Legendary!
Star-Lord's already in the corner. Who am I missing? Okay, but real talk, do we put in Bucky? Do we put in Bucky? I feel like Bucky's kind of a given at this point as well.
Ashtrago0 says, what about Marvel's most courageous hero,
J. Jonah Jameson? J. Jonah Jameson, of course. How could I forget JJ? That would actually be really funny. He'd be a funny joke character. Actually, wait a minute. Let's think about this for a second. Who could be our joke character? That's not Deadpool. We need a joke character. Who's the joke character? Yeah, that's what everyone's saying, MODOK. Everyone's like, oh, joke character, put in MODOK. Squirrel Girl, motherfucker. Ugh. I also see Jeff the Land Shark. I don't know. Yeah, I think that... I don't know if it should be Squirrel Girl or Jeff the Shark. Fuck it. You know what? So here's the thing, though, right? Like, Jeff the Shark has basically skyrocketed in popularity because of Marvel Rivals. I don't know if they would put him in this game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could see it. Not necessarily because he's more popular in Marvel Rivals, but I don't know. I don't know if I can see it. I'll put him in here anyways. As our joke character. This is our joke character. We can't put in any more joke characters, so Squirrel Girl is going to be out. I think that it would be really funny, because this game has been in development for a long time, right? Like, I just think that it would be really funny if they were including characters like Jeff the Shark, Luna Snow, like Magic, and suddenly it's like, oh, well, they're just copying Marvel Rivals with their roster. I don't know. I feel like that conversation could happen, but we're not there yet. Homie, why is there a second Ghost Rider there? There's not a second Ghost Rider there. What are you talking about? There's only one Ghost Rider. Let me see. Full Killer. Actually, you know who my favorite joke character is? It's the Leaper.
I'm motivated.
Ooh, what's up, Virgil? How's it going?
I'm motivated.
You know WHO we fucking need. Virgil, baby. Let's clap the cheeks of all of these Marvel characters with UMVC3 Virgil.
Yeah, specifically UMVC3 Virgil. Wouldn't it be so fucking funny if they were able to crack the code and put Marvel or Capcom characters in Marvel Tokon? That'd be really funny. I'm surprised you haven't added Wanda. You're right. I should add Wanda. Wanda would be a cool fucking character. See, this is why you guys are here, right? You guys are here because you are telling me about all the characters that I'm missing. And who I'm missing is our girl Wanda. I'm going to have this picture of Elizabeth Olsen because it's cute. Surprised he didn't bring in Vision. I mean, Vision is just... Like what? Vision... I don't know. Vision, to me, just has like a laser pointer on his head. And that's it. Quicksilver? Ooh, Quicksilver would be cool too. Both Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver? I feel like that could work, actually. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Select inverse. We can do that. We can put in Quicksilver. Actually, you want to know... I don't know why I just thought of this moveset, but I feel like Kilgrave would also be a really cool... Not joke character, per se, but I feel like I'm envisioning his moveset, and his moveset is just him giving commands to like other people off screen and they run in as like running projectiles. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I see the vision and I want the vision to happen. I just think that would be super cool. Okay. Did we put in Black Panther yet? No, we didn't put in Black Panther. I was going to, and then I got distracted. So we're putting in Black Panther. Yeah, exactly like Captain Ginyu. Black Panther. I can't believe I was like, oh yeah, Black Panther should be in here, and I just completely... What if I went the entire rest of the list and someone was like, bro, how did you forget Black Panther? And I would have been very, very upset with myself. So I'm glad that I remembered it at like the last possible second. Boom, Black Panther. He's gonna go right in the corner where he belongs. No, I'm just kidding. I will say, Black Panther and MVCI was really cool. I wasn't really expecting much besides just melee stuff, but I feel like they could add the energy bursts and all that stuff here. Oh, I kind of missed. Hold on. I gotta lower this just a smidge. That should be good. I can't believe that I almost did that. I almost forgot Black Panther. Moon Knight and Penny, and then and then Joker's done. Okay, and did I get it? Yeah, that's better. It's not perfect. Thoughts on Deadpool in the roster? I was thinking maybe Deadpool for DLC, but if we had room, then I was gonna put in Deadpool. This is more so like who I think would logically get into the game, who I feel like should be put into the game at first, and then some of it, but only some of it, is my own personal bias. Oh, excuse me. Nightcrawler. Okay, so really thinking about this for a second. When it comes to... So Nightcrawler can just teleport, right? I don't know why, and don't hate me for this. What exactly does Rogue do? Is she the one who does the mind transfer stuff? She steals powers? Why was I thinking mind control? Because I remember her being in the Deadpool game, but like I said, like when it comes to the X-Men, I'm not super versed in the X-Men stuff. But like, how would Rogue's powers work in this game? Wait, I'm a fucking idiot. These guys are Arc System Works. It's just X-23, not X-23. It's Android 21. So yeah, there we go. I'm putting in Rogue. I'm putting in Rogue, not necessarily because I want her, but because I feel like they have made a character like this work before, and they can do it again. And that's why I'm putting her in here. For no other reason. Doctor Strange. I don't know if I want Doctor Strange in here, bro. I feel like it's inevitable, but I don't know if I want it just yet. Although I feel like Doctor Strange and Ant-Man would make sense. Would Ant-Man be base roster, though? Actually, you know what? I feel like in a game like this, Ant-Man would be base roster. All right, so by a quick show of hands, raise them up if Ant-Man is in your top 3 favorite Marvel superheroes. Yo, what's up, Pirate? I see 2 people with thumbs up. I said put your hands up, not your thumbs up, you silly billies. I was gonna say you wild for putting in White Panther on this and not Black Panther. See, what's funny, Cosmic, is that I put in White Tigress or White Tiger, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta put Black Panther on here, and then I got distracted, and then it took me the entire rest of the way for me to go, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about Black Panther. Okay, so there's Rogue. I think that we should put in Ant-Man. I think that Ant-Man is fine. We'll put in Ant-Man. Ant-Man would need to have a super freaking creative moveset, though, I gotta tell you. Ant-Man's moveset has to be super freaking creative because of his size. Like, I saw a frame of Dante. Yeah, that's my background. Is Dante. Ant-Man and Wasp is 2 characters in one. I don't know if I'd want that, though. Like, this isn't Smash Brothers. This isn't Ice Climbers. This is Marvel Tokon. I don't think that it would make much sense to have duo characters in a tag game that's 4v4. I don't really see the point in that. Select inverse. All right. We're running out of spots. Again, this is base roster. This is base roster. I have the Fantastic Four as 1 season of DLC. I have Blade and Miles also as DLC because I just feel like they'd be hype characters. And I feel like Gambit would also be a hype DLC character. You know, oh yeah, that's why I was forgetting. I forgot Quicksilver. Quicksilver as a speedster character, I think makes sense. Hold on, I gotta find the correct Quicksilver photo. Excuse me, because there were a couple of them that I saw. This is the only correct Quicksilver, and I gotta put him right there with Wanda. What was this guy's name in the WandaVision show? Because they put him in there, and he wasn't actually Quicksilver. But I forgot what the name was. It was something really stupid. Like, intentionally stupid. Dupe needs to be added. I'm not stopping until I see a reaction. Who's Dupe? I don't know who that is. As long as there's enough grapplers for a team of big bodies, I'll be happy. We have a couple of big bodies. I was also thinking about Juggernaut, but I also don't know if Juggernaut would be base or DLC. It was Ralph Boner. So freaking stupid. One of the dumbest things that they could have done. Blade and Legion. But I feel like Blade would be a DLC character. That's my thing. I think that Blade is a DLC. I'm kind of thinking Moon Knight. I am kind of thinking Moon Knight. Moon Knight, I feel like would make sense. Should be Moon Knight. I feel like Moon Knight has a good shot. As an anti-DLC revolutionary, I refuse to do wishlist for DLC. That is fair enough. I think the reason why I say that, though, is because there's 30 slots and there's obviously room for more people. Crap, I already forgot the character who I was going to put in. It wasn't Blade. Who was I just saying was going to... Moon Knight. I need a somewhat decent picture of Moon Knight. Okay, I found a decent picture, and I think it's AI, so I'm not using it. Baymax's DLC. In your opinion, is Dante as a character more like Thor or Iron Man overall? Because I know you like DMC. I feel like neither. If I really had to choose one, I feel like he'd be more like Iron Man just because he's a smartass. Yeah, Terry Bogard for DLC. Or Terry Bogard for the crossover. I said for crossovers that having a PlayStation character would be really cool. And my vote went for Infamous because of the superhero theme. No Winter Soldier either. Shit, I knew I was forgetting someone. We do kind of have to put Winter Soldier here, don't we? I think... As much as I don't want to be like, oh, well, Cap and Winter Soldier, it's just, at this rate, you can't really have Captain America without Winter Soldier, unfortunately. So yeah, Winter Soldier. Yeah, that'll be our last one. I hate to end it on the Winter Soldier. But I feel like the Winter Soldier would be the next logical DLC character. Although if I have... Oh god, I don't know which version of Bucky I want to use. Because I have... Actually, I'll just show you. I will let you guys decide which one I use. So I have Thunderbolt's Bucky, who looks pretty cool. I actually like... Kind of like the older, like, gruffy look. And then I also have just the regular ass Winter Soldier. Which one should I put in here? It doesn't really matter one way or the other. But who would be in here? He looks like me. We have been told that joke more times already. Yeah, especially in Marvel Rivals, he 100% looks like me. It's just I too look like every white guy who has his hair parted to the side and a bit of scrub. I look like Leon. If I put on a white wig, I kind of look like Dante. I look like Winter Soldier. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with even though I like that look, the picture quality in this one is just clear. So we're gonna size this one up a little bit, and we're gonna do that. As a joke, put your face there instead. I should have done that. Okay, so let me get this. So let me see. Shit, I missed. Dupe. What is Dupe? Is Dupe a character? Who the hell is Dupe? Am I being... Is this like some Gen Z shit? Who the hell is Dupe? See, See, I look like characters like Bucky Barnes, whereas Maximilian Dude, I still fucking missed. Whereas Maximilian Dude looks like every character with long white light hair. Okay, I think I got it. Google dupe, he's an X-Men character. Oh, now the frames are dropping. I see. Now is when all the frames decide to drop. Yeah, exactly. Like Max is just Chad Kruger. He's Ghost Rider. He's Nicolas Cage. Like Max is those characters, whereas I am the Leons, the Bucky Barneses. For the longest time, when I was in high school, I was called a lost Jonas brother because not only did I had like my hair not parted like this, but it was more in like the like Justin Bieber-ish kind of style, like the swoop. But I also dressed in like black skinny jeans and just black t-shirts, and that made me a Jonas brother. So so I graduated from Jonas brother to Sebastian Stan lookalike and Leon Kennedy lookalike. And honestly, I am 100% here for it. Oh, excuse me. Did I get it? Okay, I got it. I kind of missed, but it's fine. Okay, so being completely honest, looking at this list, I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but I don't think I could be with this, like, the possibilities, right? Only given 30 slots and kind of restricting myself while also taking into account that there is going to be post-launch content is really the main driving point with this, right? Oh my god, can you like freaking not? There we go. So, and I'm trying to think of like all the different team ups and stuff that we have. Like we have a couple of Spider-Man characters, obviously a lot of Avengers, a lot of X-Men, a couple of Defenders, plus like, you know, Punisher. And then we have the Cap and Bucky team up. We have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver for team up. But really, like, I feel like if we put in the Fantastic Four itself would be like one season of DLC, right? And the next hype DLC character would be Miles Morales, because we have one Spider-Man in here and then we'll have another Spider-Man. Carnage as a like really iconic like Spider-Man / symbiote villain, I think that's another one. Same thing with Gambit. Gambit has over the years just became a more hype character presence, and that's kind of why I'm thinking, you know, obviously the announcement of a Marvel fighting game is super hype, but there are obvious characters that are going to be included in the roster. So what are the characters that are going to make you go, oh crap, like this is really cool? Like obviously when Marvel Rivals dropped, the biggest thing was Jeff the Shark, Luna Snow, some of the lesser known characters. Whereas as it kind of went on, the first batch of Jesus Christ, this freaking TikTok. The first batch of like big DLC characters that happened for Marvel Rivals were the Fantastic Four, and it was hype as hell. So I feel like that's why we got to take that DLC hype cycle into consideration. And those would just be my choices for like a wave of DLC, right? Like let's say if we had a theme, it was all 4 characters like in one season, just as a hypothetical, and then there's a whole new team. Whole team of Fantastic Four right out of the gate, right? And then you had a whole season of Spider-Man / symbiote characters. And then you could have one for the Avengers, one for the X-Men, or you can kind of like sprinkle in like each of them. So it's like one Avengers character, one X-Men character, one Fantastic Four character, and then go from there. They could kind of do it either way, but I feel like a season of boom, Fantastic Four, boom, Spider-Man. Like, I just feel like that would be cool to have like a theming for the DLC characters. That's just kind of what I'm saying anyways. Could you do me a favor and replace Crim's Hemsworth pick with Max's Thor? I actually have to save this, so I can't, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would. But I feel like this has a good mixture of characters that are very obvious picks, with some characters that are kind of out there that I'd like to see. Like Daredevil's the main one. Jessica Jones is another one. But other than that, this is just very like kind of expected, which was kind of the whole point of this, was to be expected. There we go. Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. I'll get off TikTok. All right, TikTok, the thing's annoying me, so I'm gonna sign off on TikTok now. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. That just annoys me. Like, honestly, if it says the TikTok live disconnected, cool. I don't I don't care. Don't ring it in my ears that it disconnected. Okay, I'm going to Google a picture of Dupe. Dupe. Marvel. What? And this is an X-Men character? He's just a pickle. Is this supposed to be like a Jeff the Shark scenario? It's just a pickle. It's just Pickle Rick. Yeah, exactly. That's who this character is. This is the character that should take place over Jeff the Shark. Fuck it, we ball. This will be our other DLC character. How about that? Yeah, he needs to be added. It's a necessity for sure. See, imagine paying $5 for a DLC character and it's just a freaking pickle. Oh my gosh. All right, well, that was fun. And it didn't take me too long either, so this is going to be really easy to chop up. So, there we go. Awesome. I did want a joke character, but my joke character was... Who was my joke character? It was Jeff the Shark, wasn't it? Or did we have another joke character in here that I'm misremembering? No, our joke character was Jeff the Shark, I think. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. And like obviously I'm super excited for the game. I'm still a little bit nervous on the movement and if there's going to be motion inputs or not. That's really the biggest thing for me that's going to kind of make or break if I'm really going to enjoy it or not. We already found out that the Invincible fighting game doesn't have motion inputs, and that it was really disappointing to hear. It's one button specials with like the different directions. So there is that already. Foresight, thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. They confirmed motion inputs. Oh, thank God. Yeah, okay, that's good. And like, and you know what? Like, if they have motion inputs, but there's also an option for one button specials, that's cool. But I don't want it to just be just one button specials and that's it. Like for Street Fighter 6, I play Zangief in modern control mode with the one button specials, and for some reason it just works for me. Like it just works for me, and I feel like I'm able to approach it a little bit better as someone who doesn't play the grappler fighting style, you know? Yeah, easier inputs for less damage. But if you just completely take away motion inputs, then I'm not interested, especially for what would be like a fast-paced fighting game. Did you ever see Max's video on how it plays the Invincible game? No, I didn't. I should probably watch that, though. But yeah, I haven't seen it. Also, I'm going to turn Spotify back on so we can chill and talk. Dupe rides a motorbike and has a pet tiger. That does sound like really good joke character potential, though. I'm not gonna lie. Why is silly old Jeff on the list? Because Jeff is our joke character. We had to have a designated joke character, and this was the joke character I chose. Something that no one of those videos is talking about, like Sanjam or Max, are that every character's moveset looks very similar, and that's a huge turnoff. Well, that was the thing that I was kind of worried about, because in the Invincible universe, a good majority of the characters either fly and punch people, they jump really high and punch people, or they just punch people. Like, there isn't really a diverse moveset in the Invincible universe, minus Adam Eve, and then some of the villains, like the Dr. Earthquake guy. Yeah, so like I can see it working, but their powers aren't unique enough to, I guess, have like a huge roster of fighting style. Yeah, Doc Seismic. Yeah, like Doc Seismic would be a really cool and complicated character to put in. Langstrom would also be a cool one. But yeah, like it was like I was saying, like all of the Viltrumites, with the exception of a fair few, just feel like they have iconic moves that they do in the show, and probably by extension the comics. But it's kind of like how in Mortal Kombat 1, Omni-Man has moves that reference the things that he does in the show. Like when he does the move that like breaks the guy's spine and then he tosses him back, or he grabs and then does like the 1, 2 throwback, or even like the punch in the air into like stuff like that, right? And then obviously the fatalities are just direct references to what they are in the show. But in general, it just feels like when you're creating a moveset, it just doesn't really feel unique because all of the characters do the same thing, right? Like Homelander and Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat 1, I was nervous that they were going to do the same thing, but they basically just made Homelander into a zoner, where like all of his moves are just about like laser beams, but they actually took his personality in the sense of like, or I guess his fighting style, because he's kind of a wimp. Like he just lasers people and that's all he really does in the show. But when he actually has to fist fight someone, he's sloppy as hell because he doesn't need to do any of that training. So like his kicks and everything, they just don't hit, but because he's so strong, that's why they do so much damage. I feel like Blob would be a better joke character. I mean, I chose Jeff just because I didn't want to pick Squirrel Girl. That's the other thing. I'm going to sign off on YouTube, though. YouTube, this was fun. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. And, yeah, like I said, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I'm probably going to just chat on Twitch for a little bit while longer. So if you want to join me there, you are more than welcome to. I'll also link the socials as well. So thanks again for watching, y'all. And